Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering the listeners of the Outline Podcast a free audiobook and 30-day free trial. To redeem this, go to www.audibletrial.com/outlinepod. Once again, to get your free audiobook and 30-day free trial, go to www.audibletrial.com/outlinepod. Today's show is also brought to you by Loot Crate. Save 10% on any new subscription at www.trylootcrate.com/outlinepod. Enter promo code BRIDGE10, that's BRIDGE10 for 10% savings. All right, let's start the show. Outline. With Kevin Dwayne. The Outline. With Kevin Dwayne. This is the Outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne with Kevin Dwayne. Hey guys, it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another episode of the Outline Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Dwayne. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Remember, tell your friends about it. Share it on social media. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and the hub, KevinDwayne.com. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure popping in every Wednesday. You guys have shown so much love over the last year and some change now because it's been 2 weeks outside the year now. But special thanks to Sean, who was on the show last week. Great feedback from that. We talked about masculinity and homophobia and Beyonce, among other things. It was a great show. He was a great guest who brought a different perspective. You know, he was my first straight male guest, so that was kind of cool. And I'm always looking for different views to add to the show. Definitely gonna get some more women on the show too. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I just know a lot of niggas. It just is what it is. But I am gonna get a bigger female presence on the show too, because I want to get perspectives from everyone. Doesn't matter race, creed, or color. It's all about having great conversations and getting a better understanding of how other people think. You know, that's what the Outline is all about, I think. But, you know, we'll see about that. So, last year, I don't know if you remember, but if you listen to the early episodes, I did a challenge for myself. It was, I ate vegan for a month. And I talked about it on the podcast. So I've decided to try vegan again. Well, actually, to be honest with you, it's more vegetarian, like 95%. And then milk and dairy kind of finds its way into things. And I'm not blatantly putting it in it. So when I prepare my meals, I'm not using animal products, but I just don't want to have the additional pressure when I'm out trying to avoid milk or cheese, because it's super damn hard. Like, it's so hard when you're out. Like, I don't mind if a meal has a little bit of cheese or a little bit of some kind of dairy. It's not gonna make me go crazy. If I'm like at a restaurant, I'll let that pass, but I'm definitely not eating meat right now. So I've been trying a lot of new things at home, and I just made the best lentils and brown rice. Like, it was so damn good. And it's kind of my take on red beans and rice, because that's kind of how it tastes. So I don't know. I'm just really proud of myself. I use a little bit of vegetable bouillon, a little cube drop in there. I added a little cayenne pepper, a little sage, of course, salt and pepper. But it had the right spice to it. It was so damn good, and I'm so full right now. And I just feel when you eat a plant-based diet, you can't help but feel good about yourself, because you're like, damn, like, I'm actually eating something that's gonna like add to my health and add to my life and just make you feel better. And I do feel better. It's been a few weeks now. No, I've been doing this for 2.5 weeks now, and I don't know, just everything's different. I don't want to get too detailed, but everything is just passing as it should, and it's a good time, and so I'm feeling really good about it. Which brings it to a point I didn't think I was going to get to. Um, Meat eaters, listen. Chicken is good as fuck. Like I love chicken. I love steak. I love burgers. I love all that shit. Okay, like no one's shaming you for what you choose to eat. It is what it is. But what I need is a little bit of respect for how I want to eat. I've had more than a few occasions where I'm out eating with people and they hear me order something without meat and it's like they get offended. I'm like, why the fuck are you offended about what I'm eating? As the phrase goes, what I eat don't make you shit. What you eat don't make me shit. Like, get over yourself. Like, I don't understand why we can't just eat what we want to eat. Like, I make it a goal not to ever call out any how people's eating habits. We make a choice. We can choose at any moment to eat what we want to eat. You know what I mean? And I could say fuck this tomorrow and be at Five Guys or Shake Shack. So it's that easy. So I would never call out the eating habits of someone else. Now, I just want that same liberty given to me though. Like just because I'm not eating meat and avoiding dairy, don't project your bullshit onto me. Keep eating what you're eating. I'm not saying anything to you. It's like some people, I won't say it's an insecurity, but it's like because you have made a change, they feel like you're insulting them. And I'm like, I don't get that. Like someone made a comment like, oh, well, you must have watched that what the health documentary and that's why you're doing that. Or, oh, veganism is such a trend now and you're probably just following the trend. You'll be back. You'll be back. And I'm just like, well, first of all, if you know me, you know I've done hella challenges for myself because I like to try new things. I like to just test my limits and work on my discipline. So if you know me, you know that's not true. And like, I don't give a fuck if veganism is a trend. It's a trend for the better. So what's the problem? So I don't know. Like, let people live is ultimately what I'm trying to say. But if you want this lentil and rice recipe, hit me up. It's not that much to it. Like it's like the easiest fucking thing to make. Now I bought the dry rice because it's actually cheaper to buy than the big ass like bags that are like 1 and 2 pounds. I bought that. I didn't realize because I'm a minute rice nigga forever, and I didn't realize that like dry rice actually takes time to make. But I did very well on my first try because I've always been an Uncle Ben's kind of guy who it's 1 minute, 1 to 10 minutes, and you're done. This rice actually took like 30 to 40 minutes because it's dry and you're literally letting the water absorb on low. And I was like, okay. So I felt like I did something. It came out well. My lentils came out well. Why are lentils so damn good? Like they're so good. Like that is kind of my go-to right now. I love lentils. I love sweet potatoes, eggplant, tons of stuff. I didn't even plan on talking about how I'm eating right now. I'm just excited because my meal was so good and I thought I would share that because I share these things with you all. But whatever. Outside of trying out a more vegan like diet, I hate the word diet or lifestyle. I've been watching a lot of goddamn TV. So let's start with Game of Thrones. Everyone has been raving about this show since it came out. I have not given a fuck since it's come out. But I did notice that with season 7 starting last week, I believe it was last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, I'm still not sure because I'm not there yet. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give this show another try. I did try to watch it when it came out, and it felt like a history class to me. And I was so bored because they were speaking in the King's English, and I felt like I needed subtitles. I couldn't get with it. I'm like, this is so fucking boring. And I couldn't connect. So I said, fuck it. I'm never going to get into Game of Thrones. Y'all can have that shit. But recently I was talking to a couple friends and black friends at that. A lot of black people watch the show, and I think that's awesome. But they were like, oh no, you should totally check it out. Like just give it a couple more episodes and just try it again. So I decided to try it again because I got HBO now. Because Insecure came back, and we'll talk about that in a second too. I got HBO now, so I was like, well, since I'm gonna have HBO any goddamn way for Miss Issa, let me go ahead and try to watch Game of Thrones again. So I queued up the first episode, And it was still rough to watch, but with the help of the pause button and IMDb, Internet Movie Database, for those of you who don't know what the fuck that means, they have an episode by episode synopsis. So what you can do is you can read the synopsis and it actually tells you in layman's terms what's happening. It's like Cliff Notes for television shows and movies. So that helped in those first few episodes. And so if there was something that I didn't get, because it's literally one of those shows you have to focus on. If you turn your head or if you're on your phone, if you're doing anything, you're gonna miss some important information. So I found myself having that happen, like, oh shit, what just happened? So I would just pause it, go to have my IMDb up already on my phone, and I would just read what happened, like, oh, okay, I get it. So by like the second episode, I was like, okay, I understand what's happening, but I still wasn't sold. But baby, when Miss Khaleesi started kind of feeling herself and kind of getting into her power, I was like, wait a minute, I like her. Hold on. So around like episode 4 or 5, I was completely in, like completely in. So I'm actually in season 2 now. I finished season 1 yesterday. So who knows when I'll get to season 7. But I'm actually really, really enjoying the show now. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, essentially, my gripes before and still kind of now is it's pretty much 55 minutes of rape and murder. I mean, it just is what it is. And not even kids are safe. Like they killing kids on this goddamn show. Like I saw them like literally they don't show you, but they literally murdered a baby like off the screen, but you know they're murdering a baby. And there's a lot of fucking characters. Like there's more characters in The Simpsons. Like I was like, God, who are all these fucking people? And my friend Charles, who's been on the show twice, he was like, don't get used to any of these characters. They are gonna die somewhere or another. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a spoiler, but cool. That makes me not pay attention so much because literally I feel like new characters are being introduced every fucking scene. You're like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Who is this person? And it becomes really, really draining. But I'm in season 2 now. It's like super good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just ride this out. And yeah, so I'm into Game of Thrones now. Somebody who doesn't watch it was like, well, you gonna start it over and watch it again with me? I'm like, hell no, but I'll give you a recap. Like this is like doing homework. Like I've been like studying this shit just so I can understand it, but I can do it now. I've graduated to not using subtitles. So we're good now. I was using subtitles like a motherfucker at first, but now I'm kind of used to how they're speaking because it is English, but you know, all that fucking old speak, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? You're like, what the hell? But I get it now and I'm enjoying it. So I feel like, okay, cool. So I'm going to try to catch up before season 7 is over. I know I'm not going to watch it as it's going, but I'm also not paying attention to what people are saying on Facebook and stuff. So there's not too many spoilers, but I am going to try to catch up before the season's over so I can at least be in season 7 this year. So next season I'll be good to go. Because I feel like, I mean, they can't have that many seasons left though, because I mean, shows don't last that long. But you know, I could be wrong too. But I'm gonna try to get caught up. But I am into Game of Thrones now. So, you know, crazy things happen. Whatever. So over the weekend, I saw Girls Trip. And I have to say, it may be my favorite movie of 2017. So the promo for the film was extensive as fuck. They've been promoting this movie since early this year. I remember seeing the preview the same weekend I saw Get Out. And that, I don't remember, that was like January, February. Yeah, because it was like around Valentine's Day. And they've been playing these trailers, like it's been 2 different trailers they've been playing since the first time it came out. And I remember thinking to myself, when the fuck is this movie gonna drop? Because it kept saying coming soon. And so I was kind of concerned because it felt like all the jokes were gonna be in the previews. But let me tell you something. I was so fucking wrong. There were so many jokes in this damn movie. It was hilarious. Like I cried so many times from laughter. And oh, it was such a good fucking movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I've not laughed that hard in so long. It was brilliantly done. It was the perfect balance of feel good and raunchy. It was kind of like Hangover meets Bridesmaids meets, not Bridesmaids. Yeah, Bridesmaids. I didn't want to say it like Nene Leakes. She said Bridesmaids. Yeah, the perfect balance between Hangover and Bridesmaids. It was just raunchy and I loved every fucking minute of it. And it was like all black cast. Like it just doesn't get better than that. The breakout star was obviously Tiffany Haddish. She's been grinding for so long, and I'm so happy to see her win like this between the Carmichael show and this. And she has a Showtime special, a stand up special coming out soon. Like, it's her moment. Like, she's been around for a minute. I've seen people say, like, oh, it seems like she's leveling up really, really quick. And I'm like, nah, like, she's been around for a minute. I remember when she was a contestant on Bill Bellamy's Who Got Jokes, and that was like 2010, 2011. And then I also saw her. She was in the play with Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child and Brian White. It was What My Husband Doesn't Know. And her name wasn't even listed as a credit, but she played Michelle's friend in the show, and she was funny back then too, and that was 2011. So I've always kind of kept linked with her because she's from LA, Compton and South Central. So, I always keep up with like LA based talent because I'm from LA. So I've known about her forever. So to see her on this scale just makes me so happy. Like, I'm so happy for her because she's so fucking funny. Like, she was the best part of the movie, but that's not to say the other three girls weren't. Because listen, Regina, Jada, and Queen, Miss Latifah, they showed the fuck up. Like, they just showed that they were legends. They just proved it even more, like how they're so good. Everyone's comedic timing was good. There was enough drama in it. It was such a fun movie. I'm going to see it a second time. And I'm going to go see it by myself. I already told people, like, listen, I don't want to have to worry about scheduling shit with you. I'm going to pick a day this week after work, and I'm just going to go pay that good old $8 and watch it again, because it's funny as hell. Like, it's the type of movie that I'll definitely purchase when it comes out and watch over and over and over again. I enjoyed every minute. Also, shout out to the producers and directors for it was brilliantly filmed. They filmed it around Essence Fest, which seems like the best marketing scheme ever, because if I didn't need a reason to go to New Orleans or to Essence Fest, now I'm ready to go ahead and just say fuck Sally Mae and burn up my credit cards and go now, because it was perfect. Like, they had concert footage and they mixed like the characters in with the people performing. And I'm like, this was so well done. It was such an awesome movie. I don't kid, like, I'm not kidding. Please go see it. It's so good. So good. And it was a box office hit. It grossed $30 million in its debut. And I don't know why people were so surprised by this. Like, listen, black movies or I won't say black movies, but movies with black leads do well in theaters. I don't know why we're still shocked by this. And I mean, look at the names you had in. You had Regina Hall, Queen Latifah, and Jada Pinkett. That's 20 plus years, 20, 30 plus years of being in the industry in one movie. And those are all huge names now. So there were no doubts there, but hell yes, I'm always here for a good win for Melanin, period. But if you haven't seen it, go see it. Side note, there have been a select few folks, black folks at that, who have called this movie a ghetto movie. Okay, I need you to have a fucking seat. It's about four fairly professional and well-off women having a weekend trip together as friends. They went to college, they were well off, they were doing their thing. It was a raunchy movie, but it was not a ghetto movie. I'm so sick of people thinking just because there are black leads, it has to all of a sudden be urban or a ghetto movie. It was nothing ghetto about it. Raunchy? Yes, not ghetto. Like, we got to stop this shit. Like, stop down talking our shit. It's the same things we do when BET has an award show or BET does anything, or anything is led by black people. We try to like detract it and try to make it seem like it's worse than what it is. And stop this shit. It was a great movie for all audiences, really. The theater I was in was actually filled with white women. I was like, oh shit, come through. But I also went to Phipps Plaza. But I went on Sunday at 11 a.m. The theater was sold out. Like, so good. It was such a good movie, and everybody was just laughing, and it was a great time. Like, definitely a feel good movie, and you will laugh until you cry. And side note number 2, to all you fragile masculine men, you can see this movie too. Your aversion to all things you perceive feminine are causing you to miss out on some good comedy. You will be okay. So yeah, go see Girls Trip. Please go see it. It's so good. So to top off a wonderful weekend, after seeing Girls Trip, the season 2 premiere of Insecure came on Sunday evening. I, like millions of others, was waiting for this premiere since the first season's closing. Um, yeah, I've been counting down. Like, I literally got HBO Now just so I could be ready. I'm like, I'm not waiting the next day on Fire Stick. I need to watch it immediately when it comes on. It's Insecure is my favorite show right now. It just is. I think it captures black millennial love today. Like, it's literally a show where I totally see myself in the characters. I mean, they make some dumbass decisions, but I still see, elements of myself. It feels like these people are around my age, and it's like this makes total sense. So I love it. But anyway, so this first episode, I have to admit, I was a bit underwhelmed, and here's why. I've been connected to some industry insiders who've seen the first few episodes and they seen it weeks ago. So I've been talking to people and they're like, oh my God, wait until you see the first episode and wait till you see this episode. You're going to gag and you're going to this, you're going to that, you're going to this. So I feel like because it was hyped up so much and I was so curious on what was going to happen in the show, I think I psyched myself out a little bit. Now, it was still a great episode. I still enjoyed it, but I did feel kind of like weird when it was over. I kind of was like, oh, that was it. Okay, whatever. I certainly enjoyed the production glow up on the episode. Like those aerial shots of Los Angeles were bomb as fuck. The music was perfect per usual. Shout out to Raphael Sadiq and Solange. The styling was everything. Issa's shirts and everyone's shirts were dope as fuck. The comedic timing was on point. Like, it's still a well-written show, but I don't know what I was expecting. But what I got wasn't quite it. But I know the season has more to come. It just was like, it was still good, but I was still kind of underwhelmed. But I have decided that I will not be arguing with you niggas on Facebook and Twitter this year. Like, these characters are not real people, but they are bringing out real ass opinions of men and women when it comes to sexual politics. So this season, I decided that I'm not going to be Team Issa or Team Lawrence. I'm just going to be Team Gay Nigga who doesn't have a horse in the race. I'm not a straight man nor a woman, so I'm staying the hell out of it this season because y'all confuse the fuck out of me. Like, I don't know what it is either side wants anymore because it's so much delusion on both sides and I can't do it. But what I will say is this. All you niggas who really think Lawrence got cheated on for no reason are blind as fuck and lack common sense the universe gave a roach. Okay? He was still a bum. Like, he was still a bum. Like, you together with a nigga for 5 years and 4 years, he's on your couch. And then only when you finally say you're done, he go work at Best Buy. Like, nah, no one wants to put up with that shit. Being good looking with a fat ass is not enough. It's just not. And that goes both ways. It just does. Now, Issa is fucking whack for cheating. She should have left him. She should have just left him. She shouldn't have cheated. See how I did that? I'm objective on both ends, okay? It just is what it is. She should have left. She made some very bad decisions with Daniel. And even in this show, there was a lot of manipulation. The episode, a lot of manipulation on her part. There's just immaturity going all the way around. But you can't just be solely on one side. You got to see it from both angles. But any opinions I have on the show, I will only say on this podcast. I will not be in your think pieces. I will not be arguing with you niggas on Facebook. I'm just not doing it this season because I saw it start up already on Monday. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this. I not this season because last season I was invested and I was really kind of going off and I just can't have my blood pressure up this season. Can't do it. But, I am excited to see what the season is going to bring, and I am certainly here for Jay Ellis, aka Lawrence, all his butt booty naked scenes, and he says there's going to be a lot. He said there's no shortage of sex scenes and him plowing bitches. Sorry, women. I just want to say bitches, but I don't mean that. But women, there's a lot of fucking going on this season, and I'm so excited to see it. Like, because he has a fat ass. He does. I mean, he he's still a bum, but he does have a fat ass. And yeah, I'm excited to see it. And among other people too, that's cool too. But yeah, shout out to Insecure. I'm happy it's back. I hope there's going to be more than 8 episodes. I really hope. I mean, at minimum, give us 10. At minimum. This is second season glow up. Please, just give us 10 episodes. whatever. So I've not watched Love and Hip Hop in quite some time because there are far better scripted shows than this one, aka Insecure. However, when I saw that Keisha Cole was going to be on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, I took the bait. I had to watch. So I watched Monday night's premiere this morning, and I had me a good cackle. A few things I just want to talk about. Number one, why is Keisha Cole always playing victim? Like, I feel like she's always the one that's getting hurt. But this goes back to taking responsibility for your part in everything. Like, there's no way in hell every nigga she meet is simply out there to get her. Like, she's no walk in the park. She's proven that on every show she's been on and in her music. Like, she's out here egging bitches' cars and fighting people over Birdman. Like, come on now. Like, there's no way in hell you just out here just getting hurt by everybody. Like, when are you gonna have an album talking about, okay, this is where I went wrong? Because it's always blaming some other niggas. But the music sounds good though. She was previewing some songs on the show, and I was like, okay, Keisha, like, this might be a good move for you. It seems like she's gonna kind of reemerge a little bit, but I don't know. I'm getting sick of her narrative that she's always the one getting hurt and she doesn't have a part in it, and it's just that gets draining after a while. It was cute back in 2004, I should have cheated and all that shit, but now, I just want it to be over. Number two, Hazily. See what I did there? She's gotten way too big for her britches or her nose that she had to get done. But she keeps saying that she runs LA, but she's done absolutely nothing of note. Like, furthermore, she was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like, I'm so sick of implants moving to other cities and thinking you run anything. Like, I moved to Atlanta. You don't ever hear me say, oh, I run Atlanta. I don't run shit here. This is not my hometown. I live here. I love it here, but I'm from Los Angeles. And I don't think people from these country ass places should be moving to a big city talking about they run it, because you don't. Go ahead, fit in where you can and shut your ass up. And it's just that simple. Like, and I need her to also finish some of these damn drinks that she loves to throw. Like, my God, every scene she's in, a drink is being thrown. Like, who's paying for this shit? Who's replacing this glass? I know every restaurant is not letting y'all walk out without paying some kind of bill. Like, fuck that. Y'all breaking way too many goddamn glasses. And it's always the fight starter. They always talk. Someone always walks away. Someone throws a glass. Bitch, 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 bitch. Listen, if you really want to fight, just punch them right then and there. When you throw the glass, you're cueing the bodyguards to come. Or, sorry, you guys don't have bodyguards. I'm sorry, too broke. You're cueing security to come and block you all. So you really ain't trying to fight. You're just trying to get a good scene for the show. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Number three. Where the fuck did Brooke Valentine come from? So her storyline is already overdone and exhausting. I mean, she's with an industry guy who is recently divorced. I'm throwing up air quotes. But she finds out he actually isn't divorced because his mom tells her. Now, what mama is ever looking out for the girlfriend? Like, that don't ever happen. Like, it's always, mamas always look out for their sons. Black mamas, come on now. Like, I know damn well, scripted like a motherfucker. So she told her, like, ooh, watch out for my son. He's still married. And da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, I call bullshit, but whatever. So now the whole idea is that, oh, now you got me looking like a fool. You got me looking like a homewrecker. You told me you were divorced. And he's like, oh, I got a paralegal. Nigga, who gets a paralegal for a divorce? Don't trust them, girl. Don't do it, Brooke. Don't do it. Don't do it. I am happy to see you, but my favorite delusional line of hers was in the beginning. She said, "You remember me from all my hits, Girl Fight, among others." Girl, there were no others. Girl Fight, that was a number 6 ranked video on 106 in Park, and that's all you had. There were no other songs from you that actually did anything. Get the fuck out of here. But you are a good singer, though. I remember I bought her album, and it was cute. She's a good singer, but Girl Fight was the biggest hit she had, so she needs to stop among others. What others, girl? What others? Did you even have another video? I swear there was only one video and it was Girl Fight. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, delusion. And finally, Tierra Marie is still on the show, still fighting and not putting out music. And that's it. So whatever. That's my little TV roundup because I've really been watching a lot of TV. I need to be way more productive in the next coming weeks. But then again, I gotta finish Game of Thrones and Secure's back in season. So fuck productivity. It's gonna be TV from now on. But whatever. When we come back from break, I'm gonna be interviewing the winner of the yoga challenge I sponsored a couple weeks ago. So stay tuned. Hey guys. Hope you're enjoying the show, and we'll be right back in just a second. But I wanted to take a moment of your time to talk about Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is a Vinyl Record of the Month club. Every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection and sends it to thousands of members worldwide. I just saw Beyonce's Lemonade on there last week, so you know it's legit. But anywho, if you want to join this record club, go to joinvmp.com/outlinepod. Again, that's joinvmp.com/outlinepod. They have great selections. There's like personalized recipes, inserts that you can't get anywhere else, special pressings, and it's sent to you every month. So you have exclusive vinyl in your home so you can show off to your friends who are just going to the record stores and finding what they can find. It's your moment. So join Vinyl Me Please today. Let's get back to the show. All right, you guys, we are back. So a few weeks ago, I mentioned a contest that I was sponsoring because you guys all know I'm into my yoga right now. It's my weekly thing that I love. I'm growing, I'm getting better. So why not sponsor a contest that is revolving around it? So it was the Brothers of Light Men's Chakra Yoga Challenge. It was from June 18th to July 1st. And I had Sensei Raven on the show a couple weeks ago as well. And we were talking about it ending soon. So we have our winner on the show today. And we're going to just talk a little bit about the experience. His name is Clyde Hampton. So can you speak to the people, Clyde?
Hello, how's everybody doing? Very excited to be here and to be on the show.
Awesome. Congratulations. Like you, the reason you won, and I know this because I heard some of them talking about it. The reason you won is because you were consistent. Your pictures and your moves were awesome as hell. And you follow the rules because that was a big part of it. Following the rules was huge. So can you talk about how was it for you, the experience?
The challenge was really good. I always love yoga challenges because it introduces you to a lot of different people who do poses in different ways. And like there's like millions and trillions of poses and there's millions and trillions of variations of every pose. So it definitely helps you learn that if you can't do a particular pose, there's a variation that you can probably do that will help you get to there. So it was definitely a great experience to learn some new poses, to learn some new practices and things that I can work on.
I absolutely agree with you on that. I was looking at the poses, and it was a day that we're all doing the bow pose. Mm-hmm. And I was noticing how some people are going to like a full circle. And I'm like, how do they do that? Like, I could barely like a full O. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And I was, yeah, and it's amazing how people can push their bodies to the limit. So speaking of pushing to the limit, let's talk about your yoga journey. How long have you been doing yoga?
I have been doing yoga now for about 2.25 years, maybe something, just a little over 2 years now. It was 2 years in April, so just a little over that now, and it's been great. I got into yoga because someone basically challenged me to say that I couldn't handle her yoga class for like an hour, and then I did that. I wanted to learn how to do a handstand, and then I started asking yogis how to do it, and they just kind of pushed me into everything but handstands. So then I just started doing the whole thing.
Yogis are very tricky that way. That's kind of how I got into yoga too. I spoke about this on the show before because Sensei Raven is actually my instructor, and I just wanted to try it, and it didn't work out the way I wanted to because I was doing it on YouTube, and I was like, okay, they're going too fast. This isn't working for me. And he was like, oh, I got you. Let's just do one class with me. I thought it was going to be a one-stop shop, and that'd be it. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of enjoy this. Let's continue doing it. And it's been a few months now, and I absolutely love it. So I get how you just start one thing as a challenge, and then you're like, wait a minute, I actually like this a lot, you know?
Right.
Now,
yeah, and I train really hard. Like I'm always lifting and sports training and stuff like that. And because I train so often and I train really hard, my body's always sore. And like ever since I've been doing yoga, like not only has it improved like my strength training and my ability to do things in sports, but I just don't feel soreness as often, and I definitely don't get injured as often as I used to.
Nice. Now, have you what have been some of your biggest challenges with yoga? Any poses in particular that took you a little longer, or have you always been a superstar?
Nah, anything that's hip opener definitely kills me. I mean, when I came into it initially, I had like no flexibility whatsoever in anything. My flexibility in my arms, my hips, anywhere, it's just there was no flexibility at all. So it definitely took a lot of patience to get into just being comfortable to do like even pigeon pose was like terrible for me. You know what I mean? So um, anything hip opener was definitely a challenge. It still is a challenge for me. Like I'm still not to the point where I really enjoy hip openers. I just know that they're necessary, and I'm now starting to get around to the fact that I do them more consistently because I'm better at it now. It's not so painful anymore.
Awesome, awesome. I get you on that. I don't know if it's like a male anatomy thing or what, but there are like like hip stuff is tough. And I just did a full bind for the first time last week, and I was so excited because it took me so long just to get into like the side angle, and then I was like, wait a minute, I got one hand around. Okay, I'm connecting the other one. I was so excited. So I get what it's like to reach that point. Now,
Absolutely, and I definitely think that you know, I when I first started, I used to always blame poses that I couldn't do on the fact that I was looking at a girl doing it and she has an advantage because like she doesn't have the body structure that I have and stuff like that. So that's why I can't do that. And I made a lot of excuses at first, but then I just learned to move past that, and it's not true. Everybody can do it. You
absolutely.
just have to practice.
That's so real. It's so real, and I think that's the best part about having instructors help you out because they'll tell you that you're making excuses. Like, no, you can do this. It's just gonna take some time, and you learn the importance of breathing. I just
Yeah,
breathing is so important.
yeah,
Like my breath has gotten me through some of the toughest things ever, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, and it kind of transfers into your other activities too, which I think is great.
yes, it
You know,
does.
yeah. So, were there any misconceptions you had about yoga before doing it?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think I had like before I really got into it, I think I had all the same stereotypes as everybody else. Like it's for girls, and like guys who lift don't do it, and if you don't already have flexibility, you can't get into it. Like I pretty much had all the same stereotypes that everybody else did. But like I said, when I came into it, I didn't want to do yoga. I just came into it to learn how to do handstands, and that violently shoved me into the rest of the world. And,
You,
and the yoga community is so supportive, and they're so like attractive. You know what I mean? Like they're so loving and so warm that you just don't want to walk away from them. You don't want to not be a part of it once you become a part of it. It's just so different. They're so positive.
I agree. It's very positive. I think I felt that same kind of love. You post poses on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, and it just seems like people come out of everywhere showing you support, saying, "Hey, if you want to try this class, you want to do this, try this." It's not competitive. It's like the one
Right.
thing that's not competitive, like other sports or even lifting,
Right.
where people aren't trying to outdo you. If anything, they'll just give you a suggestion, and I think that's great about the yoga community.
Absolutely. The most amazing people who do the most amazing back bending, foot touching their face stuff will still come out and tell you that you're doing amazing and you're not doing anything nearly as amazing as what they can do. So that to me is so cool.
It's beautiful actually because it's kind of everyone's in it together, and I think everyone knows that yoga is very much challenging, and I think some people feel because it's low impact that it doesn't challenge you, but it definitely does. It's more than just stretching, trust me.
I think anybody who has actually taken a yoga class or really tried to do yoga for real would not say that. I think only people who have never tried yoga will say it's low impact and it's not intense.
Agreed. Agreed. Because I like it takes me 5 minutes before I'm sweating. Everything in me, I'm over it. I'm like, man, I can't do it. Like so. But yeah, no, it's super awesome. So now you've been doing it for 2 years. Is there anything any goals that you have that you want to do with yoga moving forward?
My goal right now in yoga is I want to be able to do scorpion to where my foot is touching the back of my head. Like
Oh,
I really want my back bends to improve. I do acro yoga with my acro partner, and like we really try to get as much time as we both can in together. And I really want us to improve together. I really want us to like be able to do much longer transitions and variations and routines and things. Like I've seen so many very cool like dance acro routines on YouTube, and now like I just want us to get better together.
That's awesome, and I'm here for that, especially when working with other people. There's a certain energy that's there in yoga that just can't be beat. So that is super, super cool. And how do you feel about the representation of more African Americans doing yoga now?
I think that I think it can definitely help the community in much more ways than one. I think, obviously it can help the community because the African American community is known for like high diabetes and things. And I really think that's a diet thing that stems down from years and years and years of just eating, things that we shouldn't eat because of like when we first started eating those things, it was all that our ancestors and our grandparents and stuff could get because of their finances or just their ability to go shopping in certain places. And because you still pass those same old recipes down from like the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, they're still being passed down to doing things the same way, that it causes those diabetic things. So not only the health benefits from that, but I think it changes the way that you think and the way that you go about your daily process and the positivity and the energy that you give off. And I think that would attract so much less negativity towards African Americans that we would begin to come together a lot better and be more of a community than a competition. That I think that's the biggest problem in the African American community is we're all trying to do better than each other instead of trying to do better with each other.
Agreed, man. And with that said, please go to a yoga class. You guys hear the man. He's telling you it's a solution. Let's get to yoga and do it together. I I love it so much. But thank you so much for having this moment to be on the show because it's I know you have a busy schedule and we wanted to just get you in and inspire the people because your poses were great. Now, can you let people know where they can find you online?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, my name is Clyde Hampton Jr. You can also find my fitness team. It's me, my sister Michelle Cortez, her husband Richie Cortez, and my other brother Rodney Washington. We have our fitness team, Right Track Fitness. You can find me on Instagram at Hamp407, HAMP407. My acro yoga partner at Nisi Peace. You can find her and my jeweler who does all my chakra beads and she does custom beads. You can find her. Her name is Golden Ascension at Golden Ascension on Instagram. You can find her. She does custom pieces and organizing and stuff. You can definitely get all that great stuff. And I'm connected through all of this. And maybe you may see me on American Ninja Warrior next year, but don't look forward to it because maybe not.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot coming up, so that's awesome, man. So, congrats again for being the winner of, well, one of the winners of the contest. Like, your yoga is amazing. The shots were
Thank you. Thank you.
great, and it's
Oh,
definitely
and
going to.
one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be so terrible to not mention this. We have Movement Through Poetry coming August 20th in Tampa. So if any of your listeners are in Tampa and you're interested in coming to check us out, there's going to be some poetry and acro yoga and just a great night. So August 20th in Tampa. Look it up. Come on out. We're going to just have a great night.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining the show today. And
Thank
we'll
you.
be right back after these quick messages. Today's episode is brought to you by Zipcar. Zipcar is the world's largest car sharing network, providing wheels when you want them. It's a cost effective alternative to car ownership. You can drive cars by the hour or day with gas and insurance included. You can choose the make and model. They're easy to access throughout the city, and the app is very user friendly. For the listeners of the Outline podcast, you can earn $25 of driving credit. Just go to www.joinzipcar.com/outline pod. Once again, to get that $25 of free driving credit, go to joinzipcar.com/outline pod. Let's wrap up the show. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Outline. Wasn't Clyde cool? He was so cool, so chill. Understood yoga and had his advice and stuff. Got a lot going on. I love other yogis. Like, the vibe is so dope, and I'm meeting so many black people out there doing yoga, and it's a dope movement right now. And man, if you're not in yoga, you're missing out. Try it. Try it for me. In fact, if you're in Atlanta, come try it with me on Saturdays at Jeans Body Tech in Buckhead. If you go to my Instagram, I'll probably post it, but I go on Saturdays at 12. Probably not this weekend, but I'll post the weekend. But yeah, Sensei Raven, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, he teaches it, and it's a great class. You got to check it out. That's a little extra promo for y'all. But yeah, no, great interview. Once again, congratulations to Clyde Hampton for winning the yoga challenge. But anywho, so the main topic is surrounding relationships, and basically I want to know, when do we get real? When do we get real? I posted this I posted this status on Facebook last week, and it said the following: y'all keep asking for a 1975 love in 2017, but 1975 had the same drama and deceit without 2017's exposure. So I had a whole episode early in the podcast that talked about how we romanticize the past and pretend like things were so much better when in reality they weren't much different. We are just greatly exposed now. So, for example, my grandfather's secret bonus family didn't appear until his funeral, as opposed to if it were today, it would be on Facebook or Ancestry.com. You know, that's the difference. But niggas wasn't shit then. Niggas still ain't shit now. And that includes white niggas, Asian niggas, Mexican niggas, Persian niggas, Indian niggas, all the niggas, okay? So we just have a way of exposing things that aren't right. But I'm sick of this idea that there's something that people of the past were doing that's just so different that from us that makes our relationships fail. No, we just have more options now, and we don't have to be in crazy relationships, and we value ourselves differently now, and that's just the difference. Things are just put out there more, and it's harder. You get to see more deal breakers now than anything. I think that's the hardest part of it, but that's not what I even want to talk about. So at first, I had the basic ass detractors of my statement, because anytime you say anything, there's always people who feel like they're joking with you, or they want to try to make your shit seem weaker than what it is. So there were a couple people like, well, how do you even know what 1975 was like when you wasn't even born yet? Okay, you basic bitch, that wasn't the point of the status. The point was to say people want something that was from another time, when in reality it's really no different than now. I mean, I wasn't a part of slavery, but I know it was terrible as fuck. I didn't walk with Martin Luther King, but it was still a crazy time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, don't be basic. I can't stand people who try to track everything you do. I'm like, what? How about I change it to 1987? Will that make you feel better, bitch? Like, I don't know, but I don't even want to talk about the basic bitches either. It's just, don't be so simple. Like, I can't stand people who always try to detract from some shit because they can't take the attention you're getting, because that's really what it is. Like, girl, get the entire fuck out of here. But whatever. After the basic detractions, and I explain people that they're missing the point by being simple, someone asked, they were like, Kevin, well, what is your opinion? What do we do about love today? And I felt like that was kind of like a curveball. I was like, damn, I was really just trying to make a point that, we're just asking for ideals, and we need to just kind of let things be. I didn't realize it's going to be a whole, spotlight moment. So Kevin, tell us, what do we do about love today? And I was just like, okay. So I told them, I said, keep loving, but be realistic. Stop idealizing what love should be and just let it happen as it is. Like, no one's going to be perfect. And then it became a longer discussion, and then more questions started coming. I was like, oh shit, like, look what I got myself into. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm going to talk about that right now, and I'm going to give my opinion. That's all it is. It's my opinion, like my perspective on things. It's not fact. It's not whatever. You agree or you disagree, and it just doesn't matter at the end of the day. But this is kind of how I feel about it. So first thing I thought to myself was, is this really that hard a concept? I've noticed that some of the smartest people, I mean intelligent, filled with common sense, great finances, great interpersonal relationship with friends and family members, They just understand great concepts, politics, all that. But for some reason, when it comes to love and intimate relationships, they're dumb as fuck. And I feel like we all kind of have that. We just get stupid because we're chasing this ideal and this fairy tale. We make ourselves dumb and we ignore red flags and warning signs in our own actions for the sake of making a certain love work or whatever. I don't know what it is, but Dick just does that to people. It just does. I don't know. Like, I feel like lesbians are winning because they remove the dick out of the equation. And they do so well. They do so well. It's the dick that's damaging us. I'm telling you, that's what it is. But it's not, it doesn't seem like that hard of concept. So I thought to myself, has Disney really fucked us up to the point that we'll only accept love if it only looks like our dreams, aka our delusions? Like, does it have to be the Cinderella or the Beauty and the Beast or the Aladdin type love? Does it have to be the happily ever after? Like, why does it always have to look a certain way? Like, why do we still believe these things? We know Santa Claus doesn't exist. We know the Tooth Fairy isn't there. Why are we still holding on to these Prince Charmings and damsel in distress stories? You know what I mean? I don't know, but let's go back. Number one, we are all human. So why do we feel like our lovers will be superhumans? Like, we always feel like we're allowed to be insecure, damaged, hurt, untrusting, but they're supposed to be our saviors without sin. They're supposed to save us from ourselves and never hurt us. But that one, like, how? Like, they're humans, right? So that means they're going to have their own shit. And are you going to help them with their stuff too? Is it like oh, we'll help each other get through our stuff? And I'll get to why that's not really a good idea either in just a few more points. So speaking of hurt, I think the first realistic expectation from a relationship is your partner will eventually hurt you. It will not be intentional, but it will happen. This does not mean they're going to be unfaithful. It means something will happen that doesn't align with your perspective, and it will trigger you, and you will do the same to them. You guys are going to hurt each other in some kind of way, you know. They didn't show up to some important event that really meant a lot to you, or they didn't have the right response to something special you did to them, or you guys have different love languages. You don't like the way they said goodbye to you. You don't like the way they kissed you. They don't eat your booty enough. I don't know, but there's going to be something that's going to hurt you, and it's not always intentional, but it's going to happen. And I feel like that's a realistic expectation. Like, there's always going to be a disappointment no matter who it is. I mean, your siblings disappoint you, your parents disappoint you, you disappoint other people. So why do you feel like a relationship that's intimate is going to be any different from that? But that doesn't mean it still can't be a wonderful fucking relationship. It doesn't mean you can't have a good ass time and love one another. But understand, hurt is involved and pain is involved because you guys are learning and growing together, and there's going to be things that you're not aligned on, and it's going to cause pain. And I'm not equating pain to love at all. I think that's a dumb phrase too. Pain is love. No, fuck that. Pain is not love. Pain is pain, and love is love. It just is what it is. But understand that anytime you're dealing with another human, there's going to be some kind of disappointment because you're human. We fuck up. Everybody fucks up. Everybody fucks up. So just remove that, you know? I mean, this shouldn't be a deal breaker, but it should be a call to action for growth, a chance for you guys to grow together and work through things. But disappointment is going to happen. Now, let's talk about cheating a little bit more. This is my opinion. Once again, I don't know why. It's weird. I have an issue with saying something's my opinion because I'm fucking talking. And anytime I'm fucking talking, it's obviously my opinion, but whatever. So, cheating. If that is your worst fear in a relationship, grow the fuck up. That's just the nicest way I can say it. Grow the fuck up. Like, there are far worse betrayals in life, I promise you. I'm not saying pardon cheating. No, fuck that. Don't ever pardon cheating. Like, if they cheat and you want to leave, fucking leave. But just don't mess up the good moments of your relationship when things are going good and it's new and you're falling in love and things are good. Don't fuck that up. by thinking about, oh, but what if this happens, or what if that happens, and if they step out on me, what am I gonna do? You're messing up a perfectly good moment that hasn't even happened and probably will never happen. But you already have these issues because, trust issues because somebody else did to you. You know what I mean? It's a complete waste of time and energy. Like, if things are going good, don't fret that. Like, you guys are afraid of niggas cheating on you, and y'all ain't even with these niggas. A lot of niggas are single right now, and their worst fear is their future hypothetical ghost ass nigga is gonna cheat on them. Ain't that crazy as fuck? The nigga don't even exist yet. Well, he probably exists, but you ain't even met him yet, and you already afraid he gonna cheat on you. Like, get out of here with that. Like, they're just live your life, girl. Live your life, guy. Live your life, whatever. Like, stop. Stop the shit. Just stop. Don't do it. And speaking of trust issues, if you have them, you should really work on those before committing to anyone. Stop dragging that shit into every relationship. Like, it's not cute. Jealousy's not cute. Envy's not cute. Possession's not cute. And issues in general, those are yours to fix. Stop placing the onus on other people, especially your intimate partners. Your healing is your responsibility. Why would you even want to place that burden on someone else, especially if they didn't cause you the pain in the first place? Like, music does this shit, and television and all these fucking memes are always like, oh yeah, like, I need someone who's going to help me unpack my baggage and ease my pain and cure my trust. Like, if you don't do that shit yourself before ruining another fucking relationship, Mary Jane, like, stop. Like, being single is not the worst thing. And as you get older, you start learning that. Like, I'm single, and God, I love it. Like, too damn much. But it's not the worst thing. And you gotta heal. You gotta figure out what you want to do before you hop in these relationships, because you're gonna keep repeating the same shit. You know what I mean? And my favorite opinion is you don't own them. I'm talking about possession, man. Like, y'all some possessive ass motherfuckers. Like, there's some people out there who feel like they own other people. You don't. Understand this. You choose to commit to each other. You can decide to break that commitment at any moment. That's the beauty of it. They are choosing to be with you, and you are choosing to be with them. That's what's so dope. Because you're choosing to be here with me. You're choosing to commit to me, and I'm choosing you. I don't fucking own you. You don't fucking own me. But we're two individuals, not 50 and 50. You're two complete 100% people who complement each other. You're not, it's not a you complete me situation. You complement each other. You're two peas in a whole ass pod. I've said that before. And you just don't own them, and they don't own you. Like, their personal effects, thoughts, perspective, keys, money, they don't belong to you, and vice versa. They are simply sharing those items with you, and you are sharing it with them. Stop this ownership shit. Get you a pet or something. Like, get a plant or something, begonia, whatever. But you can't own people. It's all about choice. Even in marriage, yes, there's paperwork. And yeah, I know those vows got you all twisted up. Oh, we're one flesh. We're this one person. Still, you don't fucking own them. Because guess what? Paperwork can be handled. It can be signed off on. Divorce is easy to do. It's expensive, but it's easy to do. You sign it and split it. Sign it and split it. You don't own people ever. You don't own them. They're their own human beings, and they make their own choices. Stop being so goddamn possessive. Stop checking whereabouts every 5 minutes. Get rid of them back again. Remember, get rid of your fucking issues. Like, minimize the trust stuff. Figure that out before you hop in stuff, because all you're doing is just adding unneeded stress to something that's already going to have its own problems any goddamn way. But whatever. And finally, give your partner the same liberties you give yourself. There's nothing more off-putting than someone who gets upset with you for doing the very things they do on the regular. Oh my God, that shit grinds my gears like so much. Like, oh my God, like they can go out all the goddamn time, but as soon as you go out one night, oh my God, why you going out? Oh, you changed, you did this. Nigga, I'm just doing what you do. I don't understand what the problem is. Understand reciprocity is a real thing. And once again, you don't own anybody, and you have to have self-awareness and realize that what you do, somebody else can do too. Don't be selfish, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's all about respect, communication, and freedom. Say it with me, freedom. But then again, what the fuck do I know? I'm single. Because you know, people love to say that, oh, well, single people shouldn't give out advice and people in relationships shouldn't say this. But I think that's bullshit because I've been in a long term relationship. I've fucked up enough relationships and I've also had relationships go really, really well. I've had the experience needed to be able to give advice that makes sense. It has no current status, doesn't even fucking matter. I actually hate that reasoning because a lot of times when you're in a relationship, your ass is dumb anyway because you're digmatized. You can't think straight. Sometimes you gotta be single so you can see through the forest. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. But those are my thoughts. I just wanted to expand on that since some people were asking me questions about my status. But yeah, like love is still there. I mean, it can be a fleeting emotion, but love is still there, and just have it in in a realistic place. Stop idealizing everything. Stop trying to make this fairy tale happen. It'll be beautiful on its own. Like there's nothing better than a new connection with somebody or a strengthening connection with somebody and going through things with them and building something very, very strong and building a friendship and having great, nasty sex with somebody. Like it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful on its own without the horse and carriage, without all that shit that people pollute your minds with. Like, let that shit go. Stop posting these motherfucking TV characters as goals. They're TV characters, my nigga. Like, y'all really be posting Pam, not Pam, Martin and Gina and the Huxtables and shit. And these are all written characters. Like, seriously, like, everyone goes through something. And once you realize that, you will be way better off. And you'll have a great love life. I really believe that. But work on yourself, work on your issues, understand that no one's perfect. They're going to have stuff that they need to handle as well, and enjoy that. But love is out there. I do believe that. I do believe you'll find it, you know, but let go of some of this fake shit because it's draining and it just doesn't make any damn sense. Like, niggas gonna fuck up, you included. But that's that. And that's the show. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share with your friends and follow the Outline Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow me, The World of Kevin, on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Snapchat too, but I don't use that shit like that. But yeah, if you have any comments, leave them on SoundCloud. You can email me, theoutlinetopics@gmail.com, or just tweet me like you've been doing. But yeah, thank you so much for joining the show week in and week out. It's always a good time. And have a great week. Peace out.